just a friendly reminder from me to being nice does not pay, neither is it the way forward. And let me say what I mean by that. There's being kind is great. Being kind is wonderful. We want people to be kind, but the whole nice thing is not what we want. Like, I'd rather someone describe me as a kind person than a nice person, because nice sometimes gets this connotation of anything goes. You can slap me, you can beat me up, you can treat me anyhow, and I'm still gonna be like, oh, I'm nice, so that people can say I'm nice. No. Nice gets you nowhere. Yeah? Nice girls finish last. And let me say what I mean by that. What I mean by that is nice girls tend to, you know, just be there like a doormat type of girls that guys will treat anyhow, and they'll go back and be like, I'm sorry. No, putting your foot down gives you so much more respect than being a nice girl. You have to be like, nope, you won't treat me like this. And sometimes it's not even, you don't even have to say anything. It's just by action. And the respect, like, I've seen it in my life. I got more respect from people when you put your foot down. And it's not that I was never a run over, but I think my tolerance level is quite high, which I've cut it down now, like, because it doesn't pay and there's no need. So for me, I just think that being nice doesn't pay. Being kind is the way forward. Like, I want to be kind to you, not necessarily nice. And nice girls finish last because I feel like they give people too many chances. I feel like they don't set boundaries. I feel like they may sometimes the people that want acceptance so much. Maybe they feel like the weakest link, so they just are nice and they tolerate so many things that they really shouldn't tolerate, and then it makes them like resentful. So being nice, ladies and gentlemen, is not really the way forward. It's being kind. And nice girls, just take care of yourself, and not just make sure you take care of yourself, that you're not, you know, bending over backwards for people that wouldn't even like give you a seat. You know, even if they had 20 seats, they wouldn't even give you one of them. You know, just be very mindful. And it's just being smart. And I'm not saying do bad evil for evil, just being smart. You know, I think there's just being smart, because being nice doesn't pay, and you never want to be that girl that's used and abused and dumped and all, and so that people can say you're nice. They'll say you're nice and dumb. No one wants that. And who cares what people say? What you need to do is protect yourself and make sure that you're kind, you are assertive, and you don't let people treat you anyhow. Another saying I always stick by is you teach people how to treat you. So if you don't like something, nip it at the bud. And nipping at the bud, one of my cousins, I was just gonna mention her name now, but I won't. But she always there was one word she said to me when I was telling this stuff years ago. She said, nip it at the bud. And that's been such a mantra for me, like, nip it at the bud. And nipping it in the bud, because when you don't nip it in the bud and it goes on, that person thinks that's now an acceptable way to treat you. And the time that you do now try and stop it, it becomes a huge palaver. It becomes, to the extent they might even try to cause you harm. But if you nip it at the bud in the beginning, they know that's a no-go area. This relates to what you take from men, family members, people they want favors from you or whatever. And Meek Mill just touched on something. I just saw it briefly on my social media today, and he said he stopped letting people drive his $400,000 dollar car. And I was just like, And I read and I listened to it, and he was just like saying that some, like, the people that he was letting drive it and then he stopped, they were the one being like, oh my gosh, like, he won't let me drive his car anymore. And I'm thinking, that's, as Africans would say it, when you give someone allow and they want allowance, that's basically it. So those people had Meek was saying they don't even have $40,000 to their name, so why are they driving a £400,000? But that is basically when being nice goes wrong. I don't believe in the first place they should have been driving it. Maybe you could have driven them around in, or not even driven them around in it at all. I think once you start letting people do certain stuff, and then when you cut it off, you become that terrible person, but you shouldn't have let them do it in the first place. So like in that example, Mint Mill shouldn't have been letting his friends that he feels that don't even have £40,000 drive a £400,000 car. And because then now that he's stopping it, they hate him for it, and now they're thinking of, oh, I'm not saying they are, but that's where all these thoughts start brewing of how dare he take that away from me. But the first place, it was never you shouldn't have had that privilege in the first place. So nipping it at the bud is one of the best advice my cousin gave me. I'm gonna just say her name. Her name's Neka. And she told me, like, nip it in the bud. I think that is so essential. So don't let people wave for stuff, or you know, just if you say no straight away, people might say you're not nice, but you don't need people to say you're nice. Be nice. People saying you're nice doesn't do anything for you. Who are you that I need validation from you? You know what I mean? So nipping it in the bud, being kind and not nice is essential. No one needs, being kind is so much better than being nice. You know, being kind, you just use kind words, because someone nice can be nasty, like using nastiest words, just be just a totally nasty person behind closed doors, or treat you nastily, but for someone else they're just nice. Oh, she's such a nice person. I'd rather have the word kind used to describe me. So I know I said two things at once, and the other thing I said was also just not letting people, nipping things in the bud, which comes as part of, you know, the whole nice thing. You know, you don't really need to let people ride over you just because you're nice. And I gave the Meek Mill example of his £400,000 car, and he was letting people